Hey everyone, and welcome back. If you're relocating to the Charlotte area and you started searching online, chances are you've typed something like best lake communities near Charlotte or lake homes near Charlotte. And honestly, who could blame you? I mean, lake living is pretty amazing. You picture yourself sitting outside with your morning coffee, taking the boat out on the Saturday afternoon, bringing over friends and family, and feeling like you're on vacation every day. And for a lot of people, that's exactly why they move here. Because here's the thing though, I see happen all the time. People start searching for lake homes and assume they're all basically the same, but they're not. In fact, I would argue that lake living near Charlotte is probably one of the most misunderstood searches that people make when relocating here, because living near Lake Norman is a whole lot different than Mountain Island Lake, and living near Lake Wylie is different too. The neighborhoods are different too, and they all have different personalities. So today, I want to walk you through all of it. We're going to talk about the differences between Lake Norman, Mountain Island Lake, and Lake Wylie. And we're going to talk about waterfront versus water access, because those are definitely not the same thing. We'll talk about commute times and lifestyle and some of the things that don't show up in listing photos, because ultimately it isn't to find a lake house. The goal is to find a lifestyle that's going to make you happy 5 years from now. If we haven't met yet, I'm Nicole with Carolina Girl Relocation. And I help people relocate all over the greater Charlotte area. And this is honestly one of my favorite conversations to have with buyers, because everyone comes in thinking they want one thing, and then as we start talking through their daily life, sometimes we end up somewhere completely different. Okay, let's jump in. The first thing I want you to understand is that lake living doesn't mean one thing. I know it seems obvious, but people tell me all the time, you want to live on the lake. Okay, but what does that actually mean? Do you own a boat? Do you want to sit on a porch and look at the water? Do you want your kids and grandkids to come visit and have things to do? Do you want restaurants nearby? Do you want quiet mornings? Do you want an active social life? Those are all very different searches, because here's the reality. The lake itself is only one piece of the puzzle. Your everyday life is what really matters most. And this is something I constantly remind relocating buyers. Where are you grocery shopping? How far are you from the airport? How often are you driving into uptown Charlotte? And what restaurants will become your go-to spots? And will your family enjoy visiting you? Because all of those little things end up having a much bigger impact on your happiness than people realize. Now, let's start with Lake Norman, because that's usually where everyone begins. Lake Norman is kind of the celebrity lake around Charlotte. It's the one that everyone knows. There's boating and waterfront restaurants, marinas, breweries, shopping, parks, and a really big lake culture. But here's where buyers get surprised. Lake Norman is not just one search. It's actually several searches wearing the same name. And I say that because Cornelius is a little different than Davidson, and Davidson feels a lot different than Mooresville. And Mooresville and Denver, they're completely different too, and Denver and Huntersville. So they're all Lake Norman, but they attract different buyers. I've had buyers initially tell me they wanted Lake Norman because they saw the beautiful pictures online, and then we actually spent time talking through their lifestyle, and they realized they cared much more about a shorter commute and being close to family, or having a walkable downtown nearby. And that's why I always tell people, don't search by the lake, search by the lifestyle. Now let's talk about Mountain Island Lake. I may be a little biased here because this is an area I know extremely well and I personally love. I genuinely think it's one of Charlotte's best kept secrets. What I love about Mountain Island Lake is that it's much closer to Charlotte than people realize. It's quieter, it's less commercialized, and it's a little more understated. You don't necessarily have that giant lake town atmosphere that Lake Norman has. And honestly, for a lot of people, that's exactly why they love it. Areas around Mount Holly, Northwest Charlotte, and portions of Huntersville can give buyers a really nice balance between convenience and a slower pace of life. And this is something I see happen all the time. People discover Mountain Island Lake almost by accident, and it wasn't even on their radar initially. And then they come out here and say, wait, why isn't everyone talking about this area? Now, don't get me wrong, it's still important to understand that being near Mountain Island Lake doesn't automatically mean you're living a lake lifestyle. This is where you have to look beyond the marketing language. And near the lake isn't the same as on the lake. Beautiful aerial photographers can be a little bit deceiving, trust me. Real estate photographers are very talented. You have to ask questions. Can you actually access the water? Can you launch a boat or a kayak? Is there a community dock? Can you even see the water from your house? And those details matter. Now let's move over to Lake Wylie. Lake Wylie creates a completely different conversation, because now you're talking about two different states, North Carolina and South Carolina. And that changes things. I mean, the taxes are different, schools, commutes, insurance costs, and where your day-to-day life is centered all become part of the conversation. Areas like Tega Cay and Fort Mill, there's Rock Hill and Belmont and Steel Creek, they're all part of the picture. And while they may be part of the Lake Wylie conversation, they don't feel the same at all. I had buyers absolutely fall in love with Belmont because of its really cute downtown and lots of community events, but others love Tega Cay because it's golf cart friendly and extremely community oriented. But some buyers realize that they want to be close to the airport and they end up loving Steel Creek. Again, there's no right answer. It's about finding your answer. And honestly, this is probably the biggest piece of advice I can give you throughout this entire video. Don't choose a lake, choose your life first. Then choose the lake that supports it.